What's up? It's your boy Karceno here. Let's talk about it. How many times have we seen as a people, and have we seen as individuals, we've seen scenarios where we see people and we just don't understand it. We don't understand the process. We don't understand fully the commitment. We don't understand the message that's being delivered. Because normally, or 9 times out of 10, it's coming from the wrong person who don't have our best interests in mind. You see, you got to understand that the majority of the people out here are pretty much messed up. Their lives are messed up. And the reason that their lives are messed up is because you got everybody out here so addicted to fame and vanity that they don't believe it's actually a crime and a sin. It wouldn't be in the Bible. Okay, they wouldn't mention these things if they weren't important and vital. They tell you about greed, about gluttony, all of these things that was thousands of years ago, written in a book. Thousands of years ago, is so evident today as a destruction of your mind and a destruction of your soul. Fame, which is illusion. You can't see or touch it, but you believe in it. So is fame real? I'm telling you right now, is fame real? Your favorite artist right now was walking down the street, or your favorite actor was walking down the street, or your favorite athlete was walking down the street, y'all would run outside to go and meet them because of the fame. Even people that didn't like him would want to get around them and get pictures. Fame. People sleeping outside in tents who got homes would sleep out in the snow waiting to buy tickets to go and see an artist because of fame. You can't touch fame. You can't see it, but it's real. Greed. You can't see greed. You see the results of greed. You see the effects of greed. The lust. The acquiring of more. Greed is never satisfied. Greed always wants more. So when you see it played out amongst your people, when you start parting away with those things, I grew up under this umbrella because this is portrayed more in our community. They spread it on us. They spread it on us. Normally, this is something that would be on One Crack News, but I feel this needs national attention because we need to actually have these uncomfortable conversations, to ask these questions of why. We do, amongst ourselves. We keep waiting for somebody else to come in and fix things for us. We want somebody who's not of our race to come in and say, you know what, let's fix things over here. We're crying and pleading for them to do it. but not giving them a reason to do so. They know vanity and greed controls your mindset. Let me tell you about someone who's a manipulator. What does a manipulator do, right? They bend people to follow their will by controlling their minds, by using their pain, using deception as normally the ruse. All of these things are in line with the devil, demonic. But they portray themselves as angels of light. But everything they lust is demonic. So if you love demonic things, how are you projecting anything? They don't even hear it. People who are unattached to what those conditions were. Like I had to attach myself to a lot of these things because I grew up thinking this was the way. I had to get the 40-inch gold chain. I had to get the gold watch in the actual dollar sign ring. I was K-pop, baby. Shoot. During that era in time, Pac had it, I had it. I had a big Wu-Tang medallion. He had a Death Row pendulum. I had a Wu-Tang medallion. That was the only difference, really. Except for probably the price. But in my hood, I was flashy. I had all the top gear, the shoes. I was like the prince of the neighborhood. I was always the flashy guy. I always had on brand new gear. All of this material things. That was a complete waste of money. All of that money could have went to a CD or a stock. I could have put it on the market and would have made hundreds of thousands of dollars by the time I was in my late 20s. How many people are even eligible to put in $1,000 a month? Not many people are. But imagine how much money you would have if you weren't wasting it on a lot of these material garbage things you don't need. I'm going to give you a prime example of manipulation and deceptions. Right now, us today, Kanye West is telling people that they sacrificed his mother. Right? While mentioning they sacrificed all these other people, including his mother, for success. And now the people are saying, see, I knew it. He's exposing the industry. Now, Kanye West knows that isn't true. No one sacrificed his mother. His mom did and fell under the same spell he was under. Fame. His mother, against the doctor's wishes, went through a tummy tuck and breast augmentation at the same time. At her age, they told her that is very dangerous. You should do one at a time because the recovery process is bad. She said, no, I want them both at the same time. She got it. Then the hospitals advised her she needs to stay in the hospital to recover so that they can monitor her. She said, no, I want to go home. And my nephew, he's a doctor. He's going to watch and monitor me. And your nephew or your cousin decided, and he's not even medically capable of really taking care of her in that situation and knowing what's what, because he's not even that kind of doctor, decides to go to a party, someone's bridal party, and leave your mother at home with your cousins and nieces. They don't even know how to care for her. And no one's around when your mother is choking on her own vomit. Rather than face the realities of that, you lie to the general public, because that was not a sacrifice. That was negligence. And that woman should not have passed away. God bless Donda West, who got caught up with fame and wanted to look like one of these 30-year-old women and went under the knife. And after your mom went through what she did with her complications, you went and got liposuction yourself. But you don't talk about that. But you want to manipulate it and bend it into other people's situations who really were sacrificed, who really was involved in these situations. Now you want to say MK Ultra exists. Now you want to give all of these details up when you know that isn't true. Most of it is fan fiction. Some of it is actually real. You knew about your trainer and what he was involved in. You knew what it was going on with him, with Justin Bieber, him working with Haley Berry and all these other celebrities and athletes when they brought him over from Canada. You liked the fact that he could get you pills. Why would you be taking pills that a doctor should be prescribing you, but you're getting it from a physical trainer? Why are you asking for pills? That was you. That's your fame. That's your vanity. 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 That is what it is. Your vanity is the demon that rests on your shoulders that you cannot shake. That's what drives you, that ego, because you can't shake that demon. The vanity. It's cursing you. And you scream you want to get out, but you don't want out. You don't want out. You want to throw a tantrum so you can run back in, so that they can let you in, because behind the scenes, we all know what you're doing up there in Maryland. The general public don't know. I know. So my thing is, who is protecting you? Who's doing things for you, but they won't be seen with you? Is it us? Is it people that look like you? No, it's not, is it? It's the same people that you're talking about. But that's bad for the vanity look. You see, people, when I speak in the realm of what we have gotten to get back to. We don't love ourselves anymore. We don't love our people. Loving yourself is loving your people. How come grandma can take care of 28 kids, her kids, the grandkids, and everybody else? Grandma can raise all these kids, have them all at one house, cook food, make sure everybody is washed up, or everybody get in the car, they can go everywhere. Grandma can do all of these things. But not one of those kids, when they get older, can take care of grandma. Not one. Y'all hear me? Yeah, hit the like button if you understand that. We've lost our love for our people. We will love anybody else except for our own people. Why? Because they have made it that way. They've told you who to love. They've shown you only the negative side of yourself and promoted it and got you to promote the negative side of yourself. Seriously. Only the negative side. And everybody don't understand what everybody wanted to go by, all of these narratives that were in play. Like people remember Mr. Philip Paxton, right? He was the real godfather of Harlem, not Bumpy Johnson. But they put Bumpy Johnson as the godfather of Harlem because they want you to talk about illegal actions, criminal activity, and all of these things because they want that promoted to you. They want that to be your direction. That's the only way to be successful. They don't tell you that Philip A. Paxson Jr. was one of the biggest realtors and real estate owners in Harlem in the early 1900s. And he sold one of his buildings, apartment buildings, to a white company. I think it was like 1915, around that time, or 1950, 20, when they did the Great Migration. We knew ownership was the key. So what did we do? We decided to go ahead and own land that would protect us. So couldn't people force us away from things that we would want or be denied of? He was a barber and a handyman, saved up his money, and bought an apartment building on 134th and 135th Street. He had white tenants, he had black tenants, and the Hudson Realty Company offered to buy Peyton's apartments from him, and they only wanted to buy it to evict the black people, right? Once he found out he was betrayed, he struck back. He bought two more apartment buildings on that same block, and he evicted all the white tenants and put in all the black tenants that they just kicked out of the other building. So now you still got them as neighbors. So he did the same thing they did, which caused the real estate race war. One that you're still in right now and don't even know it. See, back then we knew what the problem was. They were holding back on your education. They're holding back on your education, your knowledge. You have access to so much education right there on the internet, and they program you to just watch Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Even though we are on YouTube, and thank you for being here, this video will not get promoted, ladies and gentlemen. They will not promote this video to you. This video mysteriously will not be pushed, but yet I make it anyway. So this is why I challenge DJ Academics. This is where I challenge all the rest of these black content creators. It's not Vlad's story to tell. It's not No Jumper's story to tell. Those people whose people go through the struggle every day, who you're seeing people that look like you every day, walking around here and they're following you on your channel, getting information. You have the platform, you have the power. You got to put some education out there. You got to put some real news out there. You got to put something real. Let the people know what's really going on. You can still do your little Puff the Magic Dragon garbage BS that you do, but you better give somebody something real. Or you're just exploiting people that look just like you, and you're not special. You're just what they want you to be. Jay-Z is not at the top of the pinnacle or sitting next to those people because he's so smart and so special. Jay-Z's sitting there because he can do what others cannot. He's willing to do the wrong thing and won't bat an eye about it. He could sit there while the wrong thing is being done, as long as it doesn't blow on him. And if some of it does, he doesn't care. And what's the demon that sits on his shoulder? Oh, vanity. Fame. Vanity. Same curse. Same demon. So when I took myself out of that vanity, and you see the real game, you see the real people, you see what everybody else is doing, and you're saying, oh, wow, it's bigger than that. You ever see and wonder why Chinese restaurants are in every ghetto in America? Every town has a Chinatown, but they also has restaurants, Chinese restaurants in your area. Right? All these businesses are in predominantly black areas. There's the Chinese store, right? Now, answer this question. How many of those people in that Chinese store live right over there by you? Zero. Zero. They will take from you, but they won't live around you. Now, You think you could put up a business in Chinatown? Think you could put up a business where they live and you don't live there and you just get your money and go home? No, you cannot. This is the real talk, people. But let us throw a restaurant in our own community. You know the first thing we say to one each other? Man, why does cost so much? Yeah, y'all prices high. We question the prices in black owned businesses. Do you do that at a white owned business? At all? Do you go to the Chinese restaurants and say, why is this so high? No. We immediately do that with our own people. We automatically think our people is trying to rip us off and scam us. So if you think that about your own people, what do you think other people outside the race are thinking about your people? Because they are being programmed. You're learning the same program that they're being programmed to learn. They promote to you only what coming of age black movie do you understand or have you seen at the movie theater? Every year they have a coming of age white film. Like you've seen Super Bad, they had Book Smart, they have all of these movies where they show these kids, they just walking around being kids, skateboarding, getting in trouble, running around, going to school. You've seen all of these things. What is a coming of age black film? Boys in the Hood. Want to go see a dead body? They got Stand By Me. We got Boys in the Hood, drive-by shootings, gangs. That's our coming of age movie. Come on, shorty, sell this pack. That's our coming of age movie. Or we're pursuing a goal to be into entertainment. We're, oh man, we gotta make this basketball team. What an amazing coming of age story, how he came up in sports. You know how many coming of age stories? With Mr. Fingers, his last name is Fingers. Can't forget his. I want to say it's Freddie Fingers, but no, can't remember his first name. But he was a baby that was thrown in the dumpster by his black mother. He was adopted by a white family that found him in the dumpster. The family didn't find him in the dumpster, I don't think. But he was found in the dumpster. He went and studied electronics. He was always into electronics. Learned how to become an engineer and was the first person to ever develop 5G technology cell phones and has his own black owned wireless service business. So before everybody had 5G, people who had his service already had it. That's an amazing coming of age story to me. Why haven't I heard it? Why haven't I seen it? We have a 10-year-old girl, black girl, who has written her own books and made her own characters in the book and is published at 10 years of age. Why I don't hear these stories? We have a 13-year-old black kid who just graduated from college at 13. He didn't have a white person to mentor him. He grew up, his father and mother said, hey, he was just smart when he was born. Like, y'all just seeing this now. We knew before they grabbed him and threw him into a magnet schools and after these tests because he was just off the charts. Why? What's wrong with that coming of age story? Why we don't get to see those stories? Because again, they don't see those stories either. Meaning the Hispanics don't see these stories from you, the Indians don't see these stories from you, the whites don't see these stories from you. They don't promote those stories to them. So it's alien to them. You know what they get promoted? 4 dead on the west side of Chicago today after a gunman named Nitro Jenkins goes into an apartment and just randomly starts shooting. The investigation is underway. 25 has been shot over the weekend in Chicago. That's what they see on the news. If you see that all day, you'll be like, oh my God, like they're just unconsciously crazy over there. I don't even understand it. Like, why are they doing that to each other? Because it doesn't. No one can fathom that. So even us, we're seeing this on the news. What are you naturally gonna say if anybody saw something like that on the news? We're gonna just sit there and say, "Damn! Like, what the f is going on?" No matter what your nationality or race is, you see that as wrong. You see that as that doesn't make any sense. That shouldn't be happening to any human being. So how are you going to sit there and see that and think the other person don't? So if everybody could see that on television and think that's wrong, how could you blame it on a race? When everyone has the same infliction when they see something like that. Then they say, and they put a tagline, black on black crime. Man, most black people we killed by our own people. Do you actually look at the facts of that? The fact is, every race is killed majorly by their own people. Mexicans are killed mostly by Mexicans, or Hispanics are killed by mostly Hispanics. White people are killed by mostly white people. Indian people are killed by mostly Indian people. That means nothing, but it's the promotion of black on black crime to make it like that is detrimental. There's never been a white on white crime, a brown on brown crime. But these are factual things that they don't tell you. They use trickery of words to keep you delusional. But no one ever goes into the facts or try to figure out why 25 is shot in Chicago over the weekend. How could 25 people be shot in the city over a weekend and no one has any answers as to why? What did the investigation unfold? Oh, they got the guns. How did they get the guns? Where are the guns coming from? How are they hitting trailers and getting guns? Who are shipping these guns in? I thought these guns were banned on the streets. They have gun stores on that side of town. Okay, so you're saying that they all have licenses to get guns? Convicts are not, convicted convicts are not legally permitted to carry guns. They can't get a carry concealed license. So these are the facts of the situation. So how are they getting these state of the art guns all over the streets? Then you tear down their communities and just pack everybody in like sardines and roaches into one community, and it causes conflict. But you don't care as long as they keep the killings in one area, so you can gentrify this area to raise the rent and move people from the suburbs back into the city so that you guys can get things like the Olympics and other formats here. This is why you lost your Olympic bid. They started the gentrification and building up the city, spending all this money that they said and claimed they didn't have, put the bean and all these tourist attractions downtown. But your ghetto, uh, your projects was mostly very close to downtown. So you had to go and knock down those buildings and move those people out of there, which has and decreased the violence in the cities and spreaded them out towards the suburbs. There's no drugs grown in the projects. There's, as Nino Brown told you in New Jack City, that nobody seemed to, after all the quotes in that film, that people just spit out their mouth. One of the main quotes that he said was, "There's no poppy fields in Harlem," which means we're not bringing the drugs into this country. Who's bringing the drugs to us? Who's providing us with these drugs? We're not growing opioids. We don't have all these syrups and pills and codeines. Like, you got to have a doctor to give you a lot of these medicines and pills and things that people are taking on the streets. Where are they getting this medication? Why is it so easily to get in these poor environments? The same reason why they got more liquor stores in those areas than anywhere else in the world. These drugs were used for psychoanalysis. They numb parts of the brain, hallucinations, delusion, memory loss. And you see the reactions and you see the effects of these drugs, these heavy codeines, which is like basically liquid heroin that you're consuming into your body by the mouth. It's like taking morphine. You don't want to take a lot of it because it becomes addictive. You have to wean yourself off of it because your body craves it so much. And if you don't have the willpower, you won't be able to fight it. Now, I'm glad we were able to have this moment because I want my Patreons, I want my YouTube, I want everybody to be able to see this video. So it'll always be there for you to watch and come back to and play it for somebody. Because you gotta have something real out here. Majority of these people that you follow, they promote all this nonsense to you, but give you nothing real. That's why I have the Karceno for Life Patreon. That's why I have One Crack News. So I could tell you some news and things that they're not telling you. As I got some groundbreaking news that I'm going to put on the Patreon, and then you'll probably see it later on One Crack News, but it's something that you're going to need to know, to prepare for. So, once again, thanks for your time. Um, God bless everyone who told me happy birthday and gave me cash apps. This is my birthday gift to y'all. Giving y'all my heart, my love, my time, everything. So, thank you. I'm out.